can do ask me any questions later or in between of my seminar. I'll be happy to answer. Okay, just a little bit about introduction on Pharmaniaga. Is my voice loud and clear to everyone?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, good. Okay, Pharmaniaga is the largest integrated pharma company in the country. We are GLC company. Yeah, we're not a private. It's a private company, public listed, but majority of the share belongs to Bausted or Lembaga Tabung Angkatan Tentera. So that is where we are linked to the government, meaning this company belongs to Lembaga Tabung Angkatan Tentera. Yeah, the ASKA. Company ASKA. So we've been in business for more than 25 years. The very first establishment was in 1990s when the government started the privatization. In the old days, government procure, distribute, and mix up their own ubat. Yeah? In the old days, maybe some of you, especially the lecturers, the senior one, you receive like a bottle of ubat syrup and things like that, where they actually prepare at their facility, Kementerian Kesihatan. But as we progress, the regulatory requirement would require a stringent way of handling product. This is part of the GMP. So the distribution logistic was privatized. Yeah. Then Pharmaniaga was established under Pharmaniaga Logistic to manage the procurement, warehousing, and distribution for the government. Then Pharmaniaga expanded our operation into manufacturing the product itself. Yeah. So now our core business is R&D. We make and develop all kinds of products. We have 7 manufacturing sites, 6 in Malaysia and another one in Indonesia, Bandung. We are also very strong in logistics distribution throughout Malaysia. Together with Indonesia, we have 38 branches, most of it actually in Indonesia. 33 branches throughout Indonesian islands. Yeah, but in Malaysia we have 1 in Juru, 1 in Sabah, Sarawak, Bukit Raja, and 1 in Section 15, Shah Alam. So that because Malaysian transportation system much easier to handle, so that we can manage it within a day or two, yeah, for distribution. But our commitment with the government is within a week, so that the government, hospital, and clinic do not have to stock up a lot of product in their clinics and hospital, because we have our branches easily accessible within a week. Yeah? And we also now into sales and marketing, whereby we have our commercial arm to support our sales in clinic and private hospital. But we also are in partnership with several alliances, pharmacy chain throughout the country. So kita dah ada about 300 plus alliance. Yeah. But our core pharmacy is called Royal Pharma. In terms of manpower, our staff strength is about 3,600 plus. Yeah? This is our product pipeline. We are proud to tell that we have a strong pipeline. We're moving into some niche product and technology. We are capable of developing any product which is solid. We can make 7 billion tablets and capsule a year. Yeah, something like metformin, or any product to treat diabetes, cardiovascular, lipid, and things like that. Yeah. So we also produce product in the form of liquid, cream, dry syrup. We also make a sterile injectable product in the form of packed into vial or ampoule. Yeah. This is one of the things that I want to talk today, which is a vaccine. We also have patches in the form of biocollagen to treat burn cases. Yeah. We of course part of the any company in the world upgrading our IR 4.0 operation in terms of robotics, automation, and business intelligence. Yeah? In terms of logistic capability, of course, most of the areas are covered by land, but certain areas like Sabah and Sarawak, certain section we have to go through waters by boat. But going to Sabah, Sarawak, we of course through air. and we also have 4x4 boat and helicopter in certain cases. Yeah, this is our commitment to the government in delivering the product.
Okay, sorry, Doctor. I think your slides are not moving as well.
Sorry?
Did you change the slide because it's stuck at slide number 1 still?
Oh, alamak. Not moving, yeah?
Yeah, it's not moving.
I'm already tadi. Can you see number 2?
Yes, all good.
Oh, tadi because I put on but can you see it as a full screen or tak?
Tak, but it's okay, it's clear, still clear.
Okay lah. Okay, we make do with whatever that we can
Yes.
for now. Sorry about that. Because okay, I'm actually online from another site. I was supposed to be at the main office. Anyway, okay, ni tadi I was talking about our capability, our research development, logistic and sales marketing, our capability in R&D, our dosage forms, and our logistic distribution approach. Yeah? In terms of technical expertise, we have more than about 300 technical experts, be it chemists, pharmacists, biologists, biochemists, and so on, medical sciences, and clinical affairs specialists. These are the people who actually support the development, registration, and pharmacovigilance of the product that we are managing at Pharmaniaga. Yeah? So we are so proud to tell that Pharmaniaga is also the leading local manufacturer who makes halal products. Yeah, not just vaccine. Vaccine is one that we are moving now, but we make all halal products. Okay. Then we are in terms of injectable, we are moving into halal vaccine. At that particular site, we are supported by more than 100 trained personnel. They are all specialized in sterile manufacturing, yeah, meaning all injectable product, and of course supported by the very strong and experienced senior management team. Okay, that was the introduction on the company. Let me go through the vaccine COVID-19. The brand name is actually CoronaVac. This is a whole viral particle inactivated as part of the formula. Adjuvant formulation to trigger the immune system. Yeah, unlike the other system that you have heard using mRNA or adenovirus base, our technology partner, which is Sinovac from China, using this very, I would say, proven technology. The technology superb in terms of safety profile, so that you won't hear much about side effect when these vaccines actually used, because this technology was established and used for more than 40 years. It's been used in children's vaccine, yeah, termasuk HFMD and hepatitis A, including also IPV, yeah, polio. So the side effect is actually superb when it comes to the usage for even adults, elderly, and also children. Okay. In terms of development, we have heard during this pandemic situation, the product will develop within a year, unlike a normal vaccine that will take about 7 to 10 years before you get it approved, because full development has to be developed, yeah, data has to be generated. But under pandemic situation, all vaccine players started developing based on whatever technology that they have. In the case of Sinovac, they're using inactivated vaccine technology, using a wild strain from Wuhan and several other strains from the rest of the world. They have isolated very virulent strain from all over the world. There were 11 of them characterized and finally developed the vaccine in China. Yeah? That paper was established. I can give you the link later if you're interested. It was published in top journal. And with that data, they quickly developed preclinical studies, mainly on safety and immunogenicity and also viral challenge, to confirm the vaccines actually worked. and it doesn't give concern on safety. Yeah, and also to confirm it was able to elicit immune response. And then with that antibody developed in that animal, especially in monkey, the monkey was then challenged with live virus, yeah, to see the protection level. Okay, only with that data, the clinical panel will approve for clinical trial on human. Phase 1 and 2 was done in China. Phase 3 was done at global level, very much to confirm on the safety again, and of course on efficacy, and eventually to look at immunogenicity. Yeah, and with that, now that the vaccine is now approved for registration in Malaysia and 27 other countries globally. Okay. For preclinical level, the animal studies was conducted in a GLP accredited lab as per the WHO requirement on preclinical assessment of vaccine. Among others, they were looking at animal toxicology, anaphylaxis, animal immunogenicity, and animal challenge. All are complying to the WHO guidelines and the requirement, show proof that the formula is actually working, safe enough to be used. With that, the partners proceed with phase 1 and phase 2, employing adults and also elderly for phase 1 to look again at the safety and tolerability of the vaccine. Then phase 2, they extend it to children, and then to confirm on safety and immunogenicity. If you were to look at the result for Sinovac, at the beginning they were proposing to have 2 doses 14 days apart, simply because we want to have the 2 doses administered quickly to give full protection within 1 month. Okay, and phase 3 was done for the 2 doses 14 days apart for between dose 1 and dose 2. So it was done in Turkey, Brazil, Indonesia, and Chile. But the one that we should look more is more on Turkey, whereby they have recruited 13 adults from general population, look at efficacy and safety aspect, and the efficacy calculated then was 83.5% as a final efficacy value. The one in Brazil is slightly different because at the peak of pandemic COVID-19 in 2020, Brazil government was daring enough to really want to protect their hospital workers. These are the doctors, nurses, and the frontliners. 16 hospitals were actually involved in the study to look at how good is the vaccine in protecting them. They were able to give a very strong protection, of which none of them who actually received the vaccine did not require hospitalization. They may still be infected. Now that everybody's aware that having vaccinated doesn't mean that you will get 100% protection from infection. You may still get an infection, but it may not spread. It may not spread and it may not cause you disease, so that you most likely do not need hospitalization. That is more important, which is now proven to all of the vaccine all over the world, regardless of the manufacturer. If you're getting it, it doesn't guarantee you 100% that you would not get any infection. This is what exactly translated during the clinical trial in Brazil, because these are the people, 13,000, who are dealing with the COVID patient on daily basis. So true enough, they may get infected, but the value is so much better compared to those who receive placebo, of which I will explain later in later slides. But due to the protocol of the study, we have to reveal that the efficacy, including those who may be infected but having mild infection but doesn't need medical attention, is about 50%. But if you consider those who do not need medical care, it's about 84%, but 100% do not need hospitalization, which is more important to reduce the medical burdens in any vaccination program. In Indonesia, a smaller numbers of volunteers were actually involved using the same lot of material, but more for to look at the the efficacy, this quality of different lot of products. It was confirmed at immunogenicity value at 96.2, 97.8, and 98.5, which is consistent, meaning they were able to manufacture very high quality products. But then again, they don't stop at certain efficacy level. They continue for 6 months to confirm that the antibody is still there, giving protection over 6 months at least. Okay, they haven't finalized this. Currently, the value is 65.2%. Okay, in Chile, they have done the massive vaccination program throughout the country, whereby the target was more for elderly. So the data that they have published so far is actually very good. The elderly up to 90 plus were actually injected with COVID-19 vaccine from Sinovac, of which over 80% of the population were actually getting Sinovac vaccine. They've got a good protection. So this is phase 1 and 2 conducted in China. For phase 1 and 2, they recruited adults of 18 to 59, about 744 volunteers. They tried 2 different doses, low dose at 600, middle dose at 600, high dose at 1,200, and placebo. Half will receive placebo, and the other group were elderly of 442. And for elderly, they were looking at the safety aspect. They reduced the dose to half. So some of the elderly were getting 300, some were getting 600, and the other getting 1,200. Okay, they want to look at the safety aspect of it. So for elderly and adult were also completed. Now they have also completed for children aged 3 to 17 for phase 2. These children were given a low dose and medium dose. So both, in conclusion, for adult, elderly, and children, safety profile all very good. It can be summarized here in the so-called seroconversion rate neutralizing antibody graph, of which 3 different groups were given either 14 days apart, or 28 days apart for elderly, or 28 days apart for the children. Be it 40 days apart for the adult, their antibody level has achieved almost 100% within 14 days. Between medium and high dose, and between medium, low, and high for the children and elderly. Okay, so the antibody neutralizing titer were achieved up to almost 100%, meaning the formulation works, and in terms of safety profile also very good. Nothing peculiar about this particular vaccine, because the same technology were actually used for many other different vaccine. Okay, so COVID-19, in conclusion, is highly active in neutralizing coronavirus. 0 and 28 days apart schedule give 100% result after 28 days, which is better. Meaning, in the vaccination program in Malaysia for Sinovac vaccine, you may be advised to be given 3 weeks apart, which is 21 days. But don't worry, if you delay for a week at 28 days, it's actually better. Will give you 100% antibody titer in our body. But then if you miss 28 days, we still have another 7 days window for the booster. And medium high dose results are not significantly different, so that we pick for the medium dose. Okay, and elderly subject rate is as good as adult, meaning the elderly responded well to this vaccine formulation. Okay, so when it comes to phase 3 trial done in 4 different countries, generally for those, this slide were prepared for those who are not familiar with what efficacy and clinical trial was. Generally, a large number of population were recruited to participate. Half were getting the vaccine, the other half were not getting a vaccine but a placebo. They received a substance but without the virus in the formula. Okay, without them or the administrator knowing it. Until at the end of the trial is done, then we look at how many of those participated, that about 30,000 per country. We're getting fever, dry cough, shortness of breath, of which some of the symptoms from COVID-19, and then they have to report to the lab and to be confirmed by PCR. Okay. Based on that, we will identify how many from the placebo group and how many from the vaccine group were actually getting an infection and how severe. Okay, I have explained this one earlier. The study was done at global level because we need to have WHO approval for registration. In Turkey, in conclusion, it was 83.5% efficacy, meaning if the person receive a vaccine, there's a chance that they will not get an infection by 83.5%. Yeah, reduction of the risk. Yeah. But the one that is more controversial was in Brazil, simply because, like I said, all of the participants were hospital workers. They are exposed to COVID-19 anyway. Chances they're getting infection is high, but the severity of the disease should be more of a concern, of which explained in this particular slide. Yeah, when the vaccine group or placebo group receive a vaccine, they were observed for the infection and rated between 1 to 10. 10 meaning they are dead. Yeah, death. Okay, so if they are infected but without symptom, they are rated 1. If they have a very mild but independent infection, they rated 2. 3 if they are getting mild infection but may require assistance, medical assistance. 4 and 5 if they need hospitalization. Above 6 meaning they need ICU or severe hospitalization, medical care. Yeah? So if we were to look at the numbers, if we consider those who are actually getting mild and but independent, yeah, people are talking about something like flu, but they are still okay. This is especially for the young people. They may get infection even after the vaccination, but their efficacy is about 50%. But 78% if they're getting mild, but they may need some assistance, headache and things like that, maybe diarrhea. But 100% of those vaccinee, those who receive vaccine, do not require or hospitalization, meaning the vaccine is actually fully protective, fully efficacious. Yeah, that is how we should interpret the data of efficacy, because it's very much depending on where you actually conduct the study, who actually involved in the study. Yeah. Okay. Globally, this vaccine now started getting approved in as early as late February. The vaccine in terms of component also very safe, and those who are concerned, nothing is non-halal in it. We know exactly how it was actually made. And the final formula also very clean. It's just a salt solution with inactivated viral particle and aluminum hydroxide as the adjuvant. Yeah. Majlis Ulama Indonesia have also granted the halal status for this product, and for Jakim we are applying now. Yeah. And the vaccine is now it's being used and approved in 27 different countries. WHO pre-qualification, meaning WHO will inspect the production plant in China, review their dossiers, meaning the filing registration application. Inshallah, anytime within this week or next week, this product will be approved even at WHO level. But in Malaysia, it's already registered. Yeah. And it's been used for more than 120 million doses. Yeah. Let's look at this data. Our partner Sinovac from China collected global data from the use of vaccine with respective government, and looking at after what do you call that, adverse event following inoculation report from all countries. Yeah, in China 31 million doses administered. Yeah, Brazil 13 million, Indonesia 8 million, Turkey 13 million, Chile 8 million, Hong Kong and the rest total up to almost 80 million. Yeah, and then over 21 million has been used in elderly, ratio about 30% used for elderly. So this vaccine is actually super for elderly. So in terms of comparison, yeah, global exposure data, adverse event following inoculation, incidents in China and other countries. Look at the first one, COVID-19 used in mainland China, about 31 million. There were 6,638 different side effects. Yeah, this is general side effect. Like any other normal vaccine, you get fever, you get headache, and things like that. So look at China data from Sinovac. About 21% in 100,000, we may have some side effect, considered side effect. Yeah, but for AstraZeneca, 800 per 100,000. Moderna about 256 over 100,000 reported, and Pfizer and BioNTech about 246 over 100,000. Meaning, this is the safest in terms of the side effect. Very low numbers of side effects being reported, let alone the serious one. Yeah. So I believe you have heard a lot other vaccine may give you different side effects. Some are quite scary, but those may be because of the health of that particular person, because even most of us are also allergic to maybe to some pollen and also peanut. So that rate is higher than vaccine actually. So Pharmaniaga, we are a licensed company to do the manufacturing and distribution. We import the vaccine from China. We do the manufacturing at one of our plant in KL. We distribute, store in the warehouse, and deliver it to the Pusat Simpanan Vaksin Negara. Yeah. So we've been doing this for the last 2 months. And this is our fill and finish plant in Puchong. What we do basically, we import a bulk vaccine in a big container of 200-liter liquid, and then we fill it in this sterile plant for individual dose, and we pack it into so-called vial of half a mil dose, single dose unit. Yeah, and then we do all the testing, release it with the approval from Kementerian Kesehatan, then we can distribute throughout the country. Okay, the next is actually a slide. Let me know if you can see the slide.
It's a,
Can you see it?
oh, good.
Can?
Yes, can.
Okay. Okay, so we're very proud to tell the audience that Pharmaniaga is now the first Malaysian company able to make vaccine. Yeah, now even COVID, because with more than 60 years of independence, this is the first time that we are able to make vaccine, manufacture vaccine. Unlike some of our neighboring countries like Indonesia, Thailand, even Vietnam, forget about Singapore because they have multinational operating there. So Malaysia never have the capability. This is the first time after a few years of effort, because we started our vaccine development program in 2017. Halfway through that, we get this opportunity to bring in COVID vaccine. So we have a few more products to be out very soon. Yeah. But for this commitment, working with the government, we are obliged to make 14 million doses of vaccine together with Pfizer, AstraZeneca, and two other companies, Partner V and CanSino. So far, only three companies, which is Sinovac, AstraZeneca, and Pfizer, have gotten approval from KKM to deliver or distribute their vaccine. We haven't heard much from the Russian partners and the other Chinese partner from CanSino. So this is related to the delay in delivering the vaccine in the country. So I believe this is a very common knowledge now that we have different technology. For Sinovac, we use inactivated, Pfizer use mRNA, AstraZeneca, adenovirus-based, CanSino and Gamaleya also adenovirus-based. Basically, for those who understand immunology, the way of to trigger immune system is by introducing this foreign antigen, which is a virus. Yeah, we cannot deliver wild virus, but it has to be killed. So Sinovac is using old technology. We inactivate the virus and deliver it to the body, and then our immune system will start develop antibody. But Pfizer and the rest of the company deliver the genetic codes to our cells. Our cell will then produce the recombinant protein, and then our immune system will recognize that as the foreign antigen, developing antibody. So that the time when we had real exposure to the virus, our body already have the antibody giving us protection. Yeah. So all product are 2 dose except for CanSino. So they claim that the product is effective by just using a single dose. Then days between 2 doses very much depending on how we conduct our trial. I mentioned earlier on, Sinovac at phase 1 and 2, they conducted the 2 dose up to 28 days. But during phase 3, in a rush to get full protection, we can get full protection as early as 14 days. Yeah, so Sinovac vaccine are good between 14 to 28 days. Yeah, the best part about Sinovac that we do not need to have a special cold storage system. This vaccine actually proven to be very stable for 3 years in refrigerated environment. But for current registration, they are good for 6 months first, as we generated more data, but the government recommended that the product to be used within 6 months. But for Pfizer, AstraZeneca, and the rest, they need cold chain, yeah? Ultra cold, -70. Within bringing it to the refrigerated temperature for Pfizer, it has to be used within 5 hours. Otherwise, the vaccine is considered damaged. Yeah? For AstraZeneca, CanSino, and Gamaleya, the adenovirus base, the virus has to be kept at -20, but once brought into refrigerated temperature, they only suitable for a few months. Yeah. Okay. This is an ingredient for our COVID-19 coronavac from Pharmaniaga or Sinovac. This is the exact bottle that you will see for those who may receive it later. It's only a Wuhan strain of coronavirus, SARS-CoV-2 inactivated with aluminum hydroxide as an organic chemical for adjuvant. The rest are all salt buffer. Yeah. scope of work for Pharmaniaga, we received a technology transfer from China. We received this first bulk in February. We completed the trial and validation batches. It was approved by MPRA more than a week ago. Now the validated batches is already approved and ready for delivery this week. Yeah. So from today onwards until year end, Pharmaniaga will be able to churn out up to 2 million doses per month. Okay. Hopefully will support the government on the vaccination program. The product be kept at our warehouses and distributed throughout the country, and only to be delivered to the pusat simpanan dan pemvaksinan a day before the vaccination program. Okay, I guess that's all. Thank you so much for the attention. Let me turn this off because I would like to see the rest.
Okay, thank you very much to Dr. Badarulhisam for the talk. And so if you have any question, you can type at the chat section. So I think I'll start with the question first. So, Doctor, in your view, so you're saying that Sinovac is one of the best that we can. If we were to choose our own vaccine, what type of vaccine that you would propose?
Okay lah, I may be biased because we worked so hard for more than a year to get this vaccine out. Yeah, but if you were to look at the profile, a lot of people at the beginning were concerned about efficacy. People were talking about 98, 91, 90, 90, 90 something efficacy, as if like, but they forget that 90 whatever efficacy is subject to how you conduct the trial. But generally the Western media, they always say, oh, the Chinese are not good. But look at now, the technology from China is up and coming. So never underestimate. Yeah. But of course, when we deal with China, their native language, just like us, we are slightly better when it comes to English. Maybe when it comes to documentation, writing, report, maybe they are substandard. But when it comes to detail, they're equally as good. Same goes with the Russian, yeah. But the Western, they're very good in selling themselves, telling how they brand it. But it's just a matter of time. So we had a bad time. Hard time, I would say, yeah, for the first few months to do the tech transfer because even our regulatory, they're so used to work with a product registered from the Europe, from the US, where they see everything is perfect, everything is clear when it comes to the language and things like that. But we have quite a bit of gap. We have to rewrite, to re-explain, because the data are all there. Yeah. So, but again, first efficacy, because unfortunately the first data on efficacy from Sinovac was announced from Brazil, whereby the value seems to be low, but the protocol for the study was different. Yeah, very daring, involving 100% healthcare workers for COVID hospital. But again, then people started worrying about safety. Have you heard much about Sinovac side effect? I don't think so.
Yeah, not that much as compared.
Yeah, people heard a lot about even at the beginning of mRNA. So many people die in Sweden. Of course, you say, oh, because of old age and things like that. But up to the investigators, how do you actually link to the receiving of vaccine to either vaccine is part of the reason? Yeah, I'm not trying to be biased, yeah, because like I said, I really want to emphasize Sinovac vaccine is an old technology, more than 40 years. Safety profile is the best. If you were to look at children and data from elderly, side effect also very, very minimal. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another question from a postgraduate student. Is it relevant to use Wuhan strain in Sinovac vaccine because there are many variants now? And also, is it safe to use AstraZeneca for elderly?
Okay.
Your opinion.
Wuhan. Okay. The peak. The coronavirus started in late December 2019. And then immediately after the government of China announced a sequence of the genome, all vaccine players started developing their own. Yeah. And of course, the first strain was Wuhan. That is the most virulent at that time. And by the time we started hearing this South Africa, the US, or other variant, even from India, only recently where the vaccine already developed and able to give good protection. The good thing about Sinovac, because we are using the entire virion, the entire virus. So any mutation or any variation of the certain surface antigen, the antibody may still recognize other parts of the virus. Unlike a recombinant, a very specific surface antigen recombinant vaccine, any changes, the protection may not be 100%. It will significantly reduce. Just like the AstraZeneca towards South Africa, it failed the requirement. As simple as that, because the surface of the protein changes while the antibody developed against the original strain. Back to your question on whether the recent one are Indian variant, because from time to time, the manufacturer will get this variant and to challenge it back in animal and also in the lab, yeah, to confirm the antibody recognition. So far, the Sinovac are giving good protection against South Africa and I think the European one, yeah. But the one recent in India, I believe all manufacturers are still working on it. They're getting the strain and to challenge it. Otherwise, they have to work on different formula.
So another question is like the statistic from KKM dated on April 29, children aged between 0 to 9, and then there are thousands of 1,628, and also age 10 to 19, there's a lot of children are tested positive in COVID-19. So since Sinovac, you say that it's safe for children, do you think that the government should, I mean, at least give the opportunity to vaccinate these school children instead?
True. At the early of the pandemic, the old strain infection is more on adult and elderly. Yeah, you hardly heard children getting an infection. But somehow, after the rampant infection with the new strain, now more kids are also getting infection. But like any other vaccine, the aspect that you must prove to the authority is the safety, not just immunogenicity, the safety. So when it comes to safety, that's why we test it on animal first. Cleared on animal, we test in adults. Yeah, clear an adult, we proceed to elderly. Cleared elderly, we proceed to children age 15 to 17. Then we bring it down to toddler, then only babies. This is how we develop vaccine, yeah, because this is how we manage the risk. Like my presentation earlier, we completed the children age 3 to 17 at phase 3. Phase 2, phase 3 are now ongoing. Very soon that once the data is sufficient, we'll be able to ask for the usage to be extended to children, inshallah, in a few months down the road.
Another question, when do you think that all Malaysians will be vaccinated, and how many percent of Malaysian population will be using the vaccine by Pharmaniaga?
Oh, how many percent from population? Government is committed to vaccinate 80% to give herd immunity. Yeah, I think more because government started ordering more now, maybe more than 80%. Because we also have to consider some foreign workers, maybe about 5 million in the country. Pharmaniaga is committed to manufacture locally 14 million doses. We're also bringing in finished product from China for about another 5 to 10 million doses. Maybe another total Pharmaniaga may vaccinate about 20 million doses. Yeah.
So for those who have been, in contact with, they have already experienced the COVID-19. So they, I assume they should have their antibody to fight the COVID already. So is it, how does it go about to get vaccinated still?
Oh, those get infection, you don't know what is their antibody level unless tested. It's always safe to just get the second dose or take full 2 dose.
Okay.
Because when you get infection, you may like from a symptom mild or severe or really serious. So we don't know what will be your protection level. Better to take the vaccine proper.
Okay, doctor, it's almost 11 o'clock. So we proceed with the last question. Is it possible for a vaccinated person to harbor the vaccine for some time and transmit it to someone else, since an immune response takes time?
To get protection, theoretically, you need to complete the 2 dose regime, and you will only get full protection after, say, 28 days apart. Yeah, katakan the first dose today, 28 days later you get your second dose. 28 days after your second dose, only you will get full protection, which is about 2 months. Okay, so any infection before that not considered as full protection, meaning you still have to really protect yourself by practicing good SOPs. But even after 2 months, there's still a chance that we still get infection because we're still breathing, interact with the people who are carrying the virus. Yeah? We may breathe the air that contains the virus. So your epithelial cell may still get infected, but chances are it may not spread. It may not spread much. There's still chance that you're harboring the virus. There's still chance that you may contaminate others or infect others, but small numbers compared to those who do not receive vaccine.
Okay. So last question from me. So for Pharmaniaga, you shall be doing the fill and finish process, and also you will have the formulation to make the vaccine itself, or just 100% fill and finish process.
For COVID-19, just do fill and finish because if you were to do it, because this is pandemic, chances are it may go away after 1 or 2 years. To develop, to go through another round of clinical trial that may take hundreds of millions of investment, yeah, because you need to do trial phase 1, 2, and 3. Since there are so many players now, we have a lot of partners. We can bring in different technology, not just Sinovac. We may also partners with company from the rest of the world, including India.
Okay.
Maybe because now everybody like in a panic situation, government also willing to spend some money. Later, the government may say, okay, we don't have much budget. We will only buy for the cheapest vaccine. So we also have to look into that, a cheaper vaccine.
Mhm. We do have one more question. Do you want to answer?
Boleh, boleh. I'm okay.
Will Sinovac be certified to be accepted in COVID-19 vaccine passport? Because they said
Hmm.
we write whatever vaccine that we get in our
Yeah,
passport.
yeah. I think the decision will be by WHO. Like I said, WHO now reviewing our vaccine. I think last Friday they have approved the other vaccine from Sinopharm from China also. The same technology, the same specification. So we have full confidence within this week or next week. Ours will also be approved by WHO. So WHO will approve, then I think we can travel. Maybe we have heard so much from the Western, their buyers. They only expect people from their Western receiving vaccine to be getting a passport to travel. That's unrealistic because we have so many people in the world that may be getting different vaccine.
All right, I think that's about it. Thank you so much, Dr. Badarulhisam, for sharing all the information and sharing knowledge for today. Thank you very much. I hope all of you get enough knowledge from this session. It's really, really interesting. So, on behalf of the faculty, I would like to thank you again for this session. Okay. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Selamat Hari Raya, Mazai Batin.
Yeah, Mazabatin.
Stay safe.
You too.
Bye.
Bye bye.